What's up, YouTube? This is going to be our guide on how to use Garchomp in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. I'll be providing competitive movesets and some fun meme movesets too. If there's a Pokemon you'd like to see me cover, let me know about it in the comment section of the video and drop a like on this video if you want to support this series and the channel. Alright, let's have a look at Garchomp. So of course, Garchomp is a very, very good Pokemon, and of course it can run a variety of sets. So let's start by having a look at a Sword Dance set. So Garchomp gets a very, very good boosting move in Sword Dance. So this is probably the set that I'll be using, and you would see in a Sword Dance, a sweeping Garchomp. So to start things off here, we've got Sword Dance, of course. We've got its main stab, which is going to be Earthquake. We've got Dragon Claw, and we've also got Iron Head. Now, Iron Head, I feel, is pretty essential for Fairy-type Pokemon, Ice-type Pokemon, etc. You know, Earthquake is a great stab move there. They can hit virtually a lot of things, and Steel-type Pokemon. And, of course, Dragon Claw is just good for opposing Dragon-type Pokemon, and anything that is resisted, Earthquake and Iron Head, if they're resisted, it can go for that. Now, as for the abilities, we're going to be going for Rough Skin here. Rough Skin usually is the best ability for Garchomp. There are times when you can run it on sand teams, and I will actually go over Sandvale and some sand teams and stuff like that, in this video. The item I've given this is Lumberry. Now, you can run a variety of items. For Sword Dance Pokemon, Dragon Dance Pokemon, I always like to run Lumberry because it's a safe item to run in case there's any Pokemon out there that can burn you or status you. Mainly, you'd be probably looking at a burn because Garchomp being a ground-type Pokemon. So, yep, you can go with Lumberry. Now, you could, if you want to go a little bit more gimmick, you can go Yucky Berry if you're worried about that 4 times super effective to Ice-type Pokemon. That's an option you can go for. You can go for a little bit more power if you like there, if you want a Life Orb. That's a good item to run on top of that too. You've got like a variety of items. You even got heavy duty boots as well. This is based around singles as well. I will get to a doubles build as we go into the video. I'm just doing general sets here for singles and then doubles and stuff like that. So yeah, there's a variety of items you can actually run on Garchomp. Now let's have a look at his EVs and of course his Terra type. So obviously the best build usually to give it is Max Speed, Jolly Nature, and Max Attack. You really want Jolly Nature because that helps you outspeed a lot of Pokemon, which is going to be very, very handy and helps with you getting like a mid to late game sweep. So last I've just dumped in Defense. You can put it in Special Defense. It doesn't really matter where you put it in either one of those. Now the Terra I've given is Steel. I believe this is the best Terra for Garchomp because this alleviates the weakness to Ice 4 times and also Fairy-type Pokemon as well. So I think it's very, very good. And you can hit those Pokemon, Fairy and Ice types back with a powerful Iron Head. And Steel is a very good type as well because it resists a lot of stuff. And you've got that 30% chance as well on Iron Head to flinch, which makes it a very, very handy move, especially going first. So this is definitely the set that I would run for a Sword Dance Garchomp. I believe this is the best set you can run on it. Just thinking of some other options there. I don't really think you can put anything else on there. I think everything else is, in terms of different moves, it kind of outclassed. So they're the 3 best moves you want to be using on there for sure. If you got any other options, you could, of course, leave in the comment section. But I believe this one definitely works the best. Okay, let's have a look now. Garchomp as a little bit more bulky because Garchomp can run bulky and it's actually very good at putting entry hazards on the field too. So with its health, it's actually got quite a nice health stat with 108. So I've given it max health there and max speed, Jolly Nature, and I've given it Rocky Helmet and Rough Skin. So this works very nicely, just punishing other Pokemon there for contact. So you got the Rocky Helmet damage stacked with the Rough Skin. So that does a nice amount of damage there. If there's a Pokemon on a low amount of health, you know he's going to go for maybe a move you can live easy. You get to swap it in and finish him off there. The main thing here we got is actually gets Stealth Rock, which is great. It gets Dragon Tail, which works very, very good with Stealth Rock. We've got Earthquake on there just so it can do something to opposing Pokemon. Say you've got like a Glimora lead and you've got your Garchomp lead. You can still punish that with Earthquake as well, which is going to be very, very nice. It also actually gets Spikes too, so you can put down rocks and spikes at the same time. Threaten to Earthquake with some damage there, and you can phase them out with the Dragon Tail if they start setting up on you. So that's pretty nice. I've given this one Terra Ghost because it actually isn't quite handy having this as a ghost type. Say someone tries to rapid spin your Stealth Rocks away and Spikes away, you can go Terra Ghost there. There are partner Pokemon on your team, such as Goldnegger, which would work very good as a partner there at stopping that from happening. But if you did really, really want to have a safeguard there for getting, into a Ghost type there, stopping the entry hazards from being removed, that works very, very nicely. Once again, Terra Steel works good as well, just for, all it's covering, all of its weaknesses. But I know I'd probably steer clear of Terra and the Garchomp unless I really had to, especially with entry hazards Pokemon, because they're just going to be doing their role, not really going to be dishing out the damage that usually is for Terra. But it is optional if you want to give it a try. Now, the next we're going to have a look at is going to be for doubles. If you're playing VGC or just doubles in general, this set is going to work pretty similar to the Sword Dance one. In fact, you can run Sword Dance on there as well. But let's have a look at this. So we've got Max Attack and Max Speed, Jolly Nature. That's going to be working best as your EVs. Last little bit in Special Defense or Defense, wherever you want to put it. I've given this one Clear Amulet. That's actually quite handy item as well, because that's going to prevent other Pokemon from lowering the stats of the Garchomp. So, for example, Intimidate Pokemon is a very, very good example. You could also, just on that thought too, you could also run that on the one in singles too, if you want to give that a try. That's another good item. Back to this one, of course, we've got Earthquake, which is a very, very nice move there. You can use that with your partner Pokemon, whether a levitating Pokemon or flying type, protect, all those sort of things. We've got Rock Slide here. Rock Slide is a very nice, sort of like a bread and butter move on Garchomp. You've got 75 base power, and you've got 30% chance to get flinch, which is very, very good when you're landing it on 2 targets. Quite often, you will find yourself getting a flinch. Now, I've given this Protect, and I've given it Dragon Claw. If you want to opt straight for Sword Dance, you can do that too. There is that option. That's sort of up to what you're running on team. So yeah, it depends. So you can go Protect there, which is handy if you are getting heavily targeted. You can go for Protect, and then your partner Pokemon can get rid of those counters and sort of mind games. Or you can have that Sword Dance there to increase the damage output of your moves, and you can start spamming Rock Slide and go for flinches and that sort of thing. So that's probably what I would do there for doubles on Garchomp. Like the singles one, I really think Steel is the best. There are some other options I was thinking of that could work too. So with its ground typing maybe, or rock typing, you could increase the power of Earthquake if you wanted to. So you could do that. Say if you did have a Sword Dance up, that would work really, really nicely there. And just getting some more base power, or you could, of course, go for another one too. Just thinking on the spot here. Water wouldn't be bad there for Ice, I'd assume there too. But these are a little bit more gimmicky here as well. Another good one you could possibly run would be Fire. If you got incoming Ice and Fairy type moves, that's another good option too. But if you want one that really supports the set, I believe that Steel is the best there. You don't even have to have a Steel type move. I just feel overall this is the best sort of Terra there for Garchomp. Whether you're running in singles or doubles, they both work really, really well. Now, Garchomp can actually run a decent special set and a mix set too. Let's go over a fully special set, and then we'll have a look at a mix set. So a fully special set is a lot more gimmick than obviously from a physical one. So let's have a look at this one. So we've got Life Orb as the item. You want to be dealing out a little bit more damage there, so we've gone for that extra 1.3 times. I've given it Rough Skin there. It's going to be most handy. Unless you're running this under Sand, you probably don't really need Sand Veil, but as I said, I will mention some Sand builds in a sec. So we've got Rough Skin going on there and Life Orb. So we've got Draco Meteor, which is its best special dragon move for 130 base power, which is pretty strong. And we've got Fire Blast there, which is very nice for coverage. We've got, any other Steel-type Pokemon and stuff like that. We've got Earth Power as well as a Ground Stab, and I've given this one Terra Blast Steel. So for any Ice or Fairy-type Pokemon, this is the way to go. Same EVs as before. This time, of course, we're giving it Timid Nature instead. Now, for example, if you were to run a mix set, this is a little bit... this special one's obviously quite gimmicky, but if you want something a little bit more... less gimmicky, you can go Naive Nature, and you can keep, if it was me, I'd keep Draco Meteor and Fire Blast. I'd shift this up to Earthquake, and I'd also remove that as well. So with Naive Nature, you can actually have more attack still than special attack. So if you go max special attack, max speed, you still have a lot more attack. So that's going to work rather nicely. So you could give it it sort of depends what you want. I would personally give it you've got like a dragon move already. You got a fire move. You got a ground type move. So you could give it something like Iron Head. That would work very nicely too. Or you could give it Dragon Claw. If you really want to double up on the dragon, you can. But I'd probably go for Iron Head there. That's, probably how I'd go about doing it. Just in case those other Pokemon coming in, there could be like a really, really big counter to Garchomp. All right, next one we are going to look at. Now, this is going to be used definitely under the sand. So you want to partner... Some partners for this, you'd probably want to run Hippowdon for sure, or Tyranitar. Those Pokemon, any Pokemon with Sandstream are going to be perfect, right, for running, these Pokemon with Sandvale. So you don't really want to be setting it up yourself because it's going to take too long. So this is a really, really scummy set. So we've got Bright Powder as well. So bit of a PIMPNITE specialist. So we've got Bright Powder adding to the Evasion, and we've got Sandvale. So they're stacking nicely. So we've got that 1.25. And then Bright Powder is an extra 0.9. So we've got all flinching moves there. And we've got a trapping move too. So the idea is to trap a Pokemon in you don't think it's going to be able to do too much to you. So you can trap that in. And you have a way to hit Steel type Pokemon this way too. You've got Substitute. Or you can even go like, if you want it less gimmicky, you could change Sand Tomb to Sword Dance. So we've got Rock Slide flinching as well. And we've got Iron Head flinching. So you're doing lots of damage there. And if you want a little bit more stab, you could go Dragon Claw as well. But I was just doing a little bit of fun set there, based around flinching and trapping the opponent in. Another one you can look at here underneath the sand. You can even use the sword. I will say this too. You can even use the Sword Dance one under the sand if you want to. If it's on a sand team, you might get more benefit out of it. You might get a miss here and there. It is gimmicky though. It's not guaranteed. So, Rough Skin is guaranteed when it gets hit by those contact moves. So just bear that one in mind. So yeah, this one is a full-on flinching physical set. So we've got Wide Lens as the item, which is going to make Thunder Fang and Fire Fang 100% accuracy, which is good. Gives it a little bit of extra courage. It doesn't really hit too hard. It's just more for... it's a little bit of a fun set, right? So we got Dragon Rush there. Dragon Rush is a very powerful move. Its accuracy is pretty shonky, but with Wide Lens, you're going to be hitting most of the time, which is good. And that's got a 20% chance of flinch, which is kind of nice. And of course, the Iron Head, the really, really good move there for any Fairy or Ice-type Pokemon. We've got 80 base power, and we've got 30% chance flinch. Now, I've given this one Terra-type Fire to mix things up. You could do Terra Steel as well. So you're going to have a powerful Fire-type move there for any Ice types coming in, and it's gonna make it like really decent there, doing some extra damage. As for the EVs, I've given it the same EVs normally that Garchomp mostly runs: Max Speed and Max Attack Jolly Nature. Wide Lens is good because it just makes these always hit there. So let's do some team options there if you were to use Garchomp. So good partners for Garchomp. Let's actually, we'll start with some good partners. So an excellent partner for Garchomp would definitely be Glimmora. Let's say you weren't running the Hazard, you're running like a Sword Dance or some sort of sweeping set, right? For singles. So Glimmora is great for putting entry hazards down, right? So it's going to be very, very nice, Stealth Rock, and then it's got a Toxic Spikes on the field. That's going to help Garchomp a lot getting extra, KOs, right? That might be the difference between a 1-hit KO and a 2-hit KO, which is going to be really good. Another good one I could suggest here would be Ting Lu. So that's a kind of similar Pokemon there to Glimmora. Very, very good bulk. And, ability to set up Stealth Rocks and, Whirlwind and stuff like that. I've done a Tinglu guide already if you want to check it out. But yeah, that's another great partner for that too. Garchomp does struggle a little bit against stuff like Iron Valiant. Like, for example, that really does struggle against these fast sweeping Pokemon. Another one, I'm thinking like Dragapult. Like Roaring Moon, that would be another one it struggles against. So Pokemon on your team that would be quite handy to have to counter them would be Corviknight. That'd be quite a good one there. So we got Corviknight. So that sort of covers a lot of its weaknesses. I have done a Corviknight guide, so you can check them out. I'm just trying to think of some other ones here. Clodsire wouldn't be bad either. So Clodsire's pretty good. That could be another sort of check to any of those fairy type moves and stuff like that. So you got Clodsire and Corviknight as some good partners there too. Dondozo is always a good one as well. And in fact, Garchomp does struggle a lot against Dondozo. So Garchomp definitely does have its counters for sure there, but it's got, it can have a lot of good support with it and stuff like that. I'm just trying to think some other good ones that would work with Garchomp. Some special, say if you were struggling against a Pokemon like Dondozo, trying to break through it with Garchomp, you probably need some special sort of attackers there. So Iron Valiant would also work very good alongside Garchomp as a special attacker. Another one would be Greninja. That'd be a pretty good one as well. So as a special attacker, once again, I've done guides on these Pokemon already if you do want to check them out. But yeah, there's a couple of options there if you are using Garchomp. There's some good counters for it. There's some good partners for it. And yeah, some good partners there for the Sand with Tyranta and, of course, the Hippowdon. So let's have a last look at Garchomp here because Garchomp can do quite a few things. So having a look at its status moves here. So we've already gone over Protect. It can run a Rest Slate. I did do this set before. This is very, very gimmicky though. Just hear me out here, but it is very gimmicky. Say if you got a Pokemon, right, that has put Stealth Rocks on the field. Does it still get Raw? Oh, I had this amazing set. So it used to get Raw, but it still has Dragon Tail. So what I did is I did like this complete Rest Sleep Talk set. Now, with Dragon Tail, you know that it's negative priority, right? So, if you run it with Rest and Sleep Talk, you can actually get that move to go off first with its base speed because you're actually using Sleep Talk. So, it'll go, say for example, you have a Pokemon like Glimora, right? It's put Stealth Talk down, you swap your Garchomp, you take a little bit of damage, right? Then you go Rest, so it goes to Sleep, and then you go Sleep Talk. So you can go Sleep Talk and go first and use Dragon Tail and phase out the opponent. And then you can do it again, you know, so you can keep phasing and phasing and phasing. In Sword and Shield, it did actually get Raw, so you could hit, those pesky Fairy types too, but you can still somewhat use this if you wanted to. I gave that Rough Skin too because I think I gave it Rocky Helmet and Rough Skin. Yeah, that was the item I gave it to there to use. So yeah, once all the Fairy types are out the way, I'm trying to think something else you could add to this, but you want to trying to roll the Dragon Tail as much as you can. You could give it Stealth Rock as well, but I feel like it's a little bit of a waste there giving it Stealth Rock because you get someone else to do that. Maybe Spikes, that could work. So I don't know, that's another option you could use, but I like this as a fun, phase. It's like a troll set, basically. You can really annoy the opponent there, and Priority Dragon Tail is good, works really, really nicely. Let's have a look at some more sets here for Garchomp. Okay, I actually did a Mega Garchomp sweep with that exact set, if you do want to ever check that one out. It was a complete phasing set. So, status moves, we've gone over everything here. These are all great moves to run on Garchomp. It can set up its own Sand, it can set up Rain, and it can even set up Sun. That's pretty interesting. Helping Hand, it's not you could make a bulky defensive set there in doubles if you wanted to with Helping Hand. But mainly it's better as a physical sweeper in doubles, so I don't really see that being, too useful there. Let's have a look at its special moves because they're extraordinarily limited. So we're going to make a PIMPNITE special here. I've got to make one in this video. I think I made a couple, but let's make another one. So I noticed that it does get Dragon Breath, which is pretty funny. So Dragon Breath can have a 30% chance of paralyzing. It's like, okay. Now, it also gets Twister as well. We want both those moves. So Twister has a 20% chance to flinch. So if we get a Paralyze on the opponent, we can start using Twister. So bear in mind, this is going to be a very, very gimmicky set, but it's going to be a bit of fun. Okay, so we got that. I quite like this too. We're going to put Sandstorm on this. We're going to put Smooth Rock on here. So this is sort of adding to the damage that we've got here. Let's go Sand Tomb on top of that. Oh, this is a nasty set. So I might go Naive here, actually. So, with this set here, the idea is to paralyze them. Once you got the paralyze going, actually, you could even Sand Tomb them to begin with and then start spamming Dragon Breath. So, you got Sandstorm. Sort of depends on the Pokemon. You could set the Sand up first. So, Sand will last for 8 turns there. And then you got the Sand Veil at the same time. Then you've got all this going. So once you've trapped them in, you could trap them in or Sand and then trap them in and then start using Drag Breath to paralyze and then twist the flinch at the same time. It's a bit of an evil set, but if you get all of them to work, the opponent will be very, very salty. So a little bit of fun there. A PIMPNITE special, of course. I have to include one of them. Let's have a look at some more ones. So this can actually run. I ran a successful Choice Spec set. This is better for Surprise, but I did actually run it. It's kind of similar to what you've already seen. Let's go Timid Nature here. So with this here, I mean, for argument's sake, you could run Modest too if you're worried about how much damage it's going to do, because it's not going to be the greatest at 80 special attack. So let's run it on Modest. You could run it as well with Timid if you want to. So we got Draco Meter, Fire Blast, they're very good. Surf is an interesting option here. You could go Terra Blast, Steel too. It's kind of similar to my other one. But it'd be cool, like, you could have Surf on Chomp too to get rid of, I guess that'd be good for opposing ground-type Pokemon that could come in there. Rock-type Pokemon, that'd be nice, and Fire-type Pokemon. Not that it normally struggles with Fire-type Pokemon, but that's another option you could run. Or you got that Terra Blast, you got Terra Blast Steel as well if you wanted to do that. You could go Terra Blast Water, but it's better running Surf there because you've got a little bit more base power. So you could definitely run like a successful choice specs, and you've got Earth Power on top of that too for ground type moves and things like that. But yeah, that's another option for Garchomp. Let's have a look at these some of these other moves here. I like to go over every single little thing. Okay, now another move here another thing I want to have a look at is Poison Jab. Now Poison Jab isn't all that bad for hitting fairy-type Pokemon, but in my opinion, it's heavily outclassed by Iron Head, because Iron Head simply hits more things. So just some thoughts there on Poison Jab. Now, it does get Stone Edge too, but I don't really see much point running Stone Edge on Garchomp, unless you're going for, like, crits and things like that. That's about it. Going through some of these moves here, it gets a little bit of support move here. We've got Bulldoze, so that could run on more of a support build if you'd like that. We've also got Sand Tomb, so we've already sort of gone over that. And Thunderfang's very weak. That's the only thing about it, is option to hit water-type Pokemon and flying and things like that. But it is very, very outclassed. Now, this is interesting. So you could, maybe you could use Stomping Tantrum. So Stomping Tantrum is a very interesting move. The power can double if the last move is going to fail. So let's see if we can make this work, right? We're doing some experimental stuff here. Oh, look at this set. So this is quite good. This is not a bad. It's a PIMPNITE special. I'm gonna put Iron Head on here just to be safe, you know. And we'll put Rough Skin on there too. So this is a fun set, but it could definitely have potential of working. So we'll go Jolly. Yeah, so we've got Stomping Tantrum, Wits, and Dragon Rush. So Dragon Rush could definitely work there. How about we go Blunder Policy here? Let's build it up a little bit and make it adamant for more power. Yeah, I like this. So we've got Blunder Policy, which is going to work with Dragon Rush. So if that misses, we've now got an extraordinary powerful ground type move there. So the power is going to double if the last move fails. So misses obviously include in that too. So that's going to get double, 150. And yeah, that's going to destroy a lot of things. We've got Iron Head and we've got Sword Dance as well. So it's going to be doing a lot of damage. If Dragon Rush misses, our speed is going to double. Matter of fact, you can even build it bulky and do that too. You could go like incredible bulk and go for that. Because Dragon Rush is going to miss, you know. So you get that +2 there, and that's going to be well and truly outspeed everything. You could just put the last little bit into special defense or defense. So whatever option you want there to go bulky or speedy, I think this would be a very, very cool sort of set there for sure. I think that's pretty much it for Garchomp there. Once again, I hope this guide did help you out. If you got anything to add, let me know about it in the comment section of the video. So to summarize everything, Garchomp is a great physical sweeper. It can definitely run a solid defensive tank there with hazard support. And it can be a really, really good doubles Pokemon too. Lots of flinching moves there. Access to Earthquake, Rock Slide. And it can even have a little bit of a role there on sand teams too, if you do have a sand team and you want a partner for a physical attacker. And it can run a half decent mix set as well. It can be quite a surprise, a wall breaker. That's pretty much it for today's Garchomp guide. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, drop a like on the video and I'll catch you next time. Peace out.